Alright, welcome back to another Honcast.com presentation on Breaky CPK. Once again, going to be your shoutcasting host, and joining me again, once again is Hippie of the Honcast staff, and this is the Honcast Daily here on Monday, December 6th here on Monday. Anyways, this is the Honcast, I don't know where I'm going with this, GosuGamers recap here of the weekend. We got the losers bracket semifinals matchup, best out of 3 series. We have SK Gaming taking on Online Kingdom here. SK Gaming currently up 1-0. A very powerful, they went with the minus armor strategy, Pestilence, Soul Stealer, Andromeda trio, and it proved to be very, very too powerful for Online Kingdom. Online Kingdom, they went for, kind of like a, excuse me, I have to take care of something. Because again, we have immature douchebags in our community. Alright, so Online Kingdom, they went for a unique strategy themselves. They went for, an AoE-style strategy with Tempest, Behemoth. They even got Corrupted Disciple for a carry. He definitely brings some AoE presence with his ultimate, with his Electric Tide. But in the end, they just fell behind early on. The laning phase just didn't do it for them, and it really just didn't work out for them. So, SK Gaming, they looks good. And they're in a good spot here to move on. But like I said, I'm joined by Hippie. How you doing once again, Hippie?
Doing good. I'm glad to see SK back in fighting shape. They've been one of my favorite teams since closed beta. Very good match prior to this. SK taking an early advantage, making some overplays, almost cost them the game, but at the same time they came back very, very strong in the mid to late game. Looking forward to game 2. OK Gaming, definitely a solid team. Very, very fantastic players over on that end. And hey, they wouldn't be here if they weren't great, so we can absolutely look forward to some good play.
That we can. So again, a best out of 3 series here now in game 2. SK Gaming up 1-0. Picks have already started. So once again, as always, let's look at the bans. First things first. Always interesting to see the bans here in these best out of 3 series, especially in the following game. And we do have a couple of different bans here. The same ones are Forsaken Archer, Bombardier, Pebbles, and Pharaoh. A couple of different ones though, being Dr. Repulsor and Witch Slayer. So again, I had to log out unfortunately, so I cannot recall who banned. I mean, it's pretty obvious that Witch Slayer was banned by Online Kingdom, but Dr. Repulsor, do you know if SK Gaming banned him?
I can... no, OK banned him, because SK had first pick. And I guess they didn't feel comfortable playing against it.
Gotcha. Okay, so Online Kingdom did ban that, yeah, so as you said, because the first pick over there in SK Gaming, and they don't want to have to deal with him, so they threw out that ban. So those are the other 2 bans. Again, in a series like this, you do see this ban shifting, pending from game to game, and it just so happened that was the case. The other 4 bans we already talked about, same bans. Swift Play was banned last time, though, and SK Gaming is known to play Swift Play quite a bit. In fact, they are right clicking him currently, so we'll see now this time if SK Gaming takes advantage of that. In fact, there we go. I look like a genius, don't I? Okay, I did see that on the stat sheet, I'm not going to lie, so I'm trying. And anyways, they also go with Magnus, so very powerful start. But I mean, the bans, do you have anything to mention on the bans here, Hippie?
Typical. Although Bombardier is more a ban that I see coming out when MSI is in the game, just because No Tail just stomps all over everybody with Bombardier. It's not even funny anymore. It's more like disgusting. But I can't deny. I mean, we've seen No Tail play him. I don't know if we've seen him play by other teams, but he certainly has a lot of power. He can really shut down the early game, and if he gets that really powerful farm, can scale very, very well into at least the mid game, because the huge damage boost he can get with the Staff of the Master, with the napalm he can put on. So yeah, nothing particularly interesting. I like seeing Witch Slayer banned because I think he's massively, massively powerful, and I don't think he gets banned often enough.
Oh yeah, I mean, out of all the babysit / support heroes, arguably the best. I mean, he really is. He has that very powerful double stun. Of course, he's got that crazy burst damage with his ultimate, and he's got an awesome Nullstone effect takeawayer, as I like to call it, with his mana drain, of course. So yeah, all around, just a very good hero.
Nullifier, perhaps?
Yeah, I like my takeawayer better. I mean, Nullifier would make too much sense. Takeawayer is a better way to say it. Anyways, yeah, so those are the bans. Again, only 2 different ones into this game now. We went over those. So as far as the picks are concerned, we got 2 more remaining over here on SK Gaming, their final 2. As far as the Hellborn team, they are going with Andromeda, Soul Stealer, Slither, and Sandray. So they're going with the Sandray pickup. He's been an off and on, popular hero for some teams, not so popular for other style hero here in the competitive scene. But we've definitely seen games where he could just take over. He's very popular in a tri-lane strategy. Currently, they got Andromeda, possibly Slither to support him, but we also have seen Slither, of course, in the solo lane. So we'll see how Online Kingdom, curious to see how they finish this up, actually, whether or not they go for that true solo hero, something like a Wretched Hag even in this case, or Thunderbringer. No, they can't really go Thunderbringer though because they got Soul there for a minute. They still could go Thunderbringer, but he was actually not banned or picked up last game either. He's actually a very popular hero, obviously great against trail lanes, but not a factor, I guess, at least in game 1. Now with only 1 pick remaining here, may not even be a factor here in game 2. So that's one of the interesting, kind of pass-up heroes that we don't see all too often, whether banned or picked. And they are right-clicking. Yep, there we go. So Wretched Hag, they finished off with her, and they're going to have her with. So I'm guessing it's going to be a Slither, Andromeda, Sandwraith tri-lane, Wretched Hag, of course, in the long lane, and then Soulstunner in the middle. They could choose to send a tri-lane bottom.
Very quickly.
We'll see.
Actually, I'm sorry for interrupting you, and it's an important talk, but just since you're logged out, we actually had, it looks like they wanted to pick Voodoo Jester, not Andromeda. They ran out of time. They talked about it in chat, and they wanted to remake. They asked SK if they could remake to try and get the Voodoo Jester instead, and SK declined. So it looks like they weren't trying to pick up that Andromeda, which may have screwed up their lineup just a little bit. It's not exactly what they wanted there.
Wait, so that was earlier on in the picks. That's what you're saying.
Yes. They ran out of time, they had Andromeda right-clicked, and they couldn't switch it to Voodoo Jester in time.
Interesting. I mean, people are going to say that's bad manners, but there's a time limit for a reason. I mean,
no, it's not.
That's
the time.
Yeah, there's a reason there's a time limit built into the game, so we don't take forever on these picks. I mean, yes, there are some teams that I'm sure would be out there and say, yeah, we're willing to remake, but there's a lot of money on the line, guys. This is a big tournament. This is a big event, and as we do see them, in fact, talking in chat as we get into the game now. But yeah, so I guess so. Apparently, yeah, SK Gaming, they declined to allow. So they wanted to go Voodoo Jester instead of Andromeda. Interesting. Well, see, the thing with that is, though, Andromeda was early on. It was their 3rd or 4th pick, I believe. That could change the picks for SK Gaming as well. So you're not just changing one hero. You're in a sense changing what could be multiple heroes because of one pick going a certain way. So yeah, I mean, if it was a final pick, then I think there would be more validity to the argument of they should have just remade and let them pick it. But yeah, so anyways, I mean, that's a deal though. So life moves on. And with that said, I mean, Online Kingdom, they still got a good lineup. Again, they got what I expected to be a tri-lane, but I guess they're not actually. They got Andromeda currently in the middle. Interesting here. So maybe it's going to say how they feel SK Gaming is going to line up. Right now, Andromeda very likely could run a 2-2-1. Curious to see how that turns out for them. But since we already talked about the Hellborn team, as by the way, the Legion team really scouting out here, but the courier from the Hellborn side is going to spot them. Or excuse me, that's a Legion carrier. Wow. So they're actually using it to scout themselves. But they're not going to see anyone, as we do see Slither and Sandwraith, of course, beyond the tower. So nothing should happen there. But Hellborn team, though, well, now that it's finished, your thoughts on the Hellborn team here, Hippie?
I mean, Sandwraith is definitely a supremely powerful carry, and if they let him really get into the late game, he will take over, absolutely. But also, if they can keep him down, get the ganks going, and it looks like we see them setting up for a 2-2-1, and we see the Legion side setting up a 3-1-1, but with 3 going against the 2, which is exactly what you want. So either they're going to need a quick lane switch, or they're going to lose. The Sandwraith's not going to get any farm, Swiftblade's going to get massive farm, and he's going to take over the early game.
Yeah, reaction is going to need to happen right away, like you said. You need Sandwraith to get any type of somewhat decent farm, anything to be useful, of course. And with this lane setup, that's absolutely not going to happen. With this set, however, Andromeda is actually going to adjust right away. So I was going to say maybe they can just have Andromeda middle and look to lock down Arachna. Andromeda's range, though, isn't the greatest, so not necessarily the greatest babysit support hero in the middle lane on top of that. So she is, in fact, going to the top lane. A ward will spot her coming over, though. We do see some pings over there, in fact, from Magnus. Maybe looking to catch her, but no, Andromeda's going to go to the tower, going to be fine. Slither and Sandwraith pushing in right here. So we are going to have a tri-lane versus tri-lane here at the top. In terms of now, who has the advantage, I mean, both teams have very powerful tri-lanes. Obviously, only one stun, though, from the Hellborn team, and, 1.5 from the Legion team. You always, Glacius, there's always an argument of whether or not that's a true stun. Obviously, it does keep you in play, so in that sense, it is a stun, but you can still cast abilities, so it's kind of a give and take, but technically, SK Gaming does have more stuns, and of course, they got the spin from Swiftblade, very, very, very powerful, but, they got great harassment from Slither with his Poison Spray, excellent slow right there, but here we go, Magma's going to stun, and there's a spin right on top, somebody's going to be down here, most likely Slither will be going down, in fact, they're trying to let Swiftblade get it, and he does get it with the spin, so right there, Magma's an excellent initiate stunner in his landing phase, showing right there, and sets up an easy kill on a Slither, so I think after seeing that right there especially, Legion team, they're going to have the advantage in terms of aggressive play, and it is going to be difficult for Online Kingdom to try to make something happen here.
Well, they have Swiftblade. The Swiftblade in the tri-lane is infinitely more viable than Sandwraith. You don't need to kill Sandwraith to lock down his farm, you just have to kill his support. So if you just kill his support with the spin while Sandwraith runs away with his Desert's Curse, it doesn't matter. You've won the lane if you keep picking off the support so he can't farm. And they're going to win the lane. There's no way, even unless SK makes horrible mistakes, OK is going to lose that lane. Sandwraith's not going to get any farm. Swiftblade's going to get massive farm, and it's going to snowball really quickly into a bad situation.
Oh!
To get ganks going up here.
I'm sorry. That was unfortunate.
That's fun.
By the way, let's do a sync up real quickly because we might be a little bit off. In-game counter, I'm at 251, 52, 53, 54, 55.
You're good.
Okay. Anyway, that bottom lane, Wretchedag really wanted to kill Bubbles. He dove on top of him, but Fade to Black came into play in the jungle. He wasn't able to finish off his last auto attack. He finally got it off though after running out next to the tower, but by that time he was already taking so much damage. The last tower hit that was going to be done ended up killing him, so it ended up being a 1-for-1 exchange, of course, but a very entertaining play. At that bottom lane nonetheless. But yeah, I mean, what this really goes back to is this Hellborn team, I mean, they're going to be heavily reliant on Soul Stealer and Wretched Hag, especially Wretched Hag. They really need Wretched Hag to have an amazing farm, honestly, this early game. They need her to have an amazing farm, get those levels, get some nice items early on, excellent regeneration, and start roaming around, perhaps even coming to this top lane and setting up some kills, because if that doesn't happen, then no doubt Online Kingdom will fall behind, as we keep on going back to with the Sandwraith. His farm, you wouldn't expect it to be too great, and then Swiftblades, on the other hand, should be pretty good, and we see right here he is winning that creep farm score, currently 15-7, 9-2 for Sandwraith though, so he actually isn't doing too horrible, but again, it is being won, of course, by the Swiftblade. And then, of course, we have Arachna at 12-5 going up against Soul Stealer at 16-6. So Soul Stealer is actually winning the middle battle as well. Arachna being played by Angry Testy, one of his favorite heroes that we see him play quite often. So we'll see if he goes the Portal Key route. Always entertaining to see. He seems to like the Portal Key on really any hero that Angry Testy plays. But yeah, so he's getting outmatched.
Portal Key is the best item in the game.
It arguably is. I mean, you can definitely make a strong argument for that, no doubt.
Well, I mean, it's just my favorite item, but I do think it's far and away one of the most powerful. I love Blink here.
Well, yeah. I mean, anytime there's an item like that where it's certain heroes that there's just no point in them, like like a Behemoth, like a Tempest, like a Magnus, where you just expect that item to be on them every single game, or else you're not really using them to their full potential. Obviously, it is a very powerful item, so. But yeah, it is always fun, though, to see Portal Keys on heroes like, Swiftblade, Arachna, Moon Queen, we haven't even seen it on. But here we go with action at the middle lane, top lane, once again, the spin from Swiftblade on top of Sandwraith, easy kill for them. Andromeda trying to set up something here on Glacius, but not going to happen. This is a problem with these two babysit heroes. Neither one of them necessarily have the greatest range. Of course, you see 400, especially on Andromeda. Again, her range is so short. Voodoo Jester, on the other hand, he does have a very good range with a very good base auto attack. So, I mean, again, you look look back at the whole picking stage and how it's always going to be in the back of your mind. What if they were able to remake? What if they got that Beauty Jester pick? But here we go. Magma stunning it once again. Swiftblade comes back in with the spin. He's going to do a lot of damage here. Andromeda should go down. Magnus did get taken out. But now Swiftblade, he might be in a little bit of trouble himself. Can we see the Desert Curse come out? No, Free's going to come out. There goes the Desert Curse, though. Is it going to be enough for the chase? Swiftblade running away with barely any life. I don't think Soul Stealer will be able to make it there in time. And in fact, a haste rune is going to be there for Swiftblade. Wow, talk about perfect timing for Swiftblade right there. Not only does he get away, but he gets the haste rune. And not only that, though, but again, Soul Stealer was heading up there to bottle it up. But yeah, here we go. He's going back in. He has a spin ready. He has those Ghost Marchers. Not even necessary to hold with that haste rune, of course. But he's actually not going to go in right here. He doesn't have any support with him. But he's feeling very confident that doesn't really have much to be worried about as long as he can stay out of that Comet Stun range. So he just comes back. But like I said as well, prevented the bottle up from Soul Stealer, and now Soul Stealer is sitting on pretty much no mana and with no bottle charges as well. So that is unfortunate for him, and that is going to slow him down a little bit. As I wonder if he's going to ferry it. No, he's still hanging onto the bottle, so he's just going to wait for the 8-minute rune now.
Yeah, not sure I like that decision unless someone else on his team desperately needs the courier. I don't see why you wouldn't bottle ferry that. We do see Arachna and Magmus going in onto Soul Stealer, though. The spider comes out from Arachna, stunned from Magmus. He is not going to live through this. But the combination of the slow, he's going to try to hit the spider, but it just doesn't matter. Very, very nice setup there by Arachna. Let Magmus get the stun in, and Soul Stealer, but until he gets some gear, is very, very squishy and very, very vulnerable just to the Arachna kill. And the more levels she gets on top of him, the more damage she can pump out in the duration of that spider, the more she's just going to be able to kill him without even having to worry about getting support from Magmus. I mean, Arachna, well, she may not be able to outfarm Soul Stealer once he gets his soul started. She does have the Precision Aura, gives her some very, very powerful damage, and that spider can just set up easy, easy solo kills on heroes with no escape mechanisms and no stuns.
A lot of pings going up here at the top lane. Sandwraith, though, he takes a little bit of damage there from the creep. He's going to use that Desert Curse now to try to get away. Magma stuns him, though. The Swift slashes right on top of him. And Sandwraith gets cut up into little pieces. And right now, SK Gaming has such a huge lead right here, right now. As 1 second, let us move channels real quickly. There we go. Anyways, we got our fanboy back in Vent, so he likes to have fun. Okay, so yeah, but what a good job right there from the Legion team, just completely annihilating Sandwraith right there, and again, just really slowing his farm down. And Swiftblade on top of that, I believe he got the kill. Yeah, already 4 hero kills for the Swiftblades. That's just fantastic farm for him. 355 gold per minute currently. He's doing a hell of a job here at this top lane. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, again, the point I was going back to, actually, oh, by the way, Bubbles initiates on a Soul Stealer right there. Arachna going to jump in with the ultimate. Wretched ports in. Can they kill the ultimate fast enough? No, they cannot. Arachna gets the auto attack off and gets the kill right there on a Soul Stealer. Arachna already hitting for 118 maximum damage with that aura she has. I mean, just so powerful. At least right there she was. But, yeah, just a lot of top-end damage right there. Definitely showing off. And despite Wretched blinking in, of course, he could not get there in time. So well played right there once again. Excuse me, from the Legion team. But yeah, this Wretched Hag needs to be a big factor. She's right now coming up to the top lane. She has an Invisorion currently activated, has her ultimate, so hopefully she can set up something here, as this is really what Online Kingdom needs right now. She's going to try to ninja around the backside. We see Magbus and Swiftblade falling back. They're falling back to the creep wave. So maybe going to wait to look for them to push up a little bit. But they don't have a stun here. I mean, that's ultimately the problem right now. Andromeda is currently dead. That's their only stun they have in this game. So, especially if they don't have, with that being the only stun on a Swiftblade like this, you can't expect to kill him. So, if anything, if they open right here, they're going to try to get a kill on Magnus and Glacius. Oh, but a Ward Revelation is placed right there from Beat. I guess just expecting something was up. Maybe even maybe just trying to counter ward. I mean, the ward placed right here is definitely a popular ward spot for the Hellborn team, but almost got him out. Meanwhile, though, Wretched is going to get caught out by Bubbles right here. He throws out that Bat Blast, followed by the Solar Scream, just trying to make anything happen, but Traffle Medora Bubbles gets the kill and takes out Wretched Hag. So right now, SK Gaming, they have a commanding lead of this game, 8-2 hero kill advantage, 5,200 gold lead, 5,000 experience lead. This is just not looking good for Online Kingdom.
Yeah, definitely. It's the weak tri lane versus the strong tri lane. The Sandwraith tri lane isn't going to do anything as the Switchblade tri lane. We see them going in on Andromeda very quickly here. Easy takeout. Just no way she was going to get out of that. And Tobacco is gonna take over this game at this rate. There's going to be nothing they can do. What's his farm at right now? He's sitting at 357 gold per minute, which is better than anyone else in the game by a fairly wide margin. Testy is in second at 330, and Loda is the closest they have over there on the Hellborn team at about 230. When your Soul Stealer is at 230, and that's your best farm, you're having problems. You're having serious problems, and especially when you've got an Arachna and a Swiftblade on the other team getting massive farm.
Yeah, it's like I said, it really is. It's going to be a snowball effect now. The leading team, they're just going to really start taking off, and with the Sandwraith hero, this is your worst nightmare right now. It's to have a situation like this where you're just getting locked down. I mean, his farm again, it isn't horrible, but it's 27 and 3, which it isn't horrible, but it's nowhere near where you want to be. But again, you compare that to Swiftblade, 52 and 17, the Arachna 58 and 24, and even Bubbles 44 and 14. They just got a massive amount of more creep kills, and well, the weak lane against a strong Trellin, that's what we keep going back to. And again, the one stun that they have. Yeah, it's tough, and I know again it is going to go back to people bringing up the whole Voodoo Jester thing. Oh, by the way, Glacier's going to actually ninja the regen room before Wretched Hack can bottle up or even get it, and well, Glacier is actually going to survive. Wretched Hack choosing not to chase. Meanwhile, the top lane, because they want to maybe set something off on a Swiftblade right here. Swiftblade using a spin now, running away. He has a Swift Slashes still though, so always keep that in mind. And Wretched Hack actually decides to turn around and actually headed towards the bottom lane, trying to make something happen on the Bubbles, maybe even save the Soul Stealer, but Soul Stealer, as we see, gets away with about half life. Wretched Ag, though, has a Bat Blast ready, wants to chase his Bubbles. The Creep Wave is following, so it has an idea of at least where he is, but I just don't think he's going to be able to keep up, as he does have red boots, but just not enough speed right there, so Bubbles able to get away. But yeah, I mean, you talk about the Voodoo Jester. Again, though, because it was an earlier pick, I honestly can't blame SK Gaming for not wanting to remake it. It shifts the whole picks for both teams. It really does. You can't sit here and say that it wouldn't, because it may have. And if it was a final pick, then yes, I would agree to remake. But because it was early on, I have no problem, honestly, with SK Gaming electing to not allow them to do a remake. But Andromeda, by the way, going to take out the ultimate right there from Magnus, easily wipes him out. And now we have the Swift Slashes on his Sandwraith, trying to do enough damage, not enough to cut him down though. I believe he actually may have got canceled, or I guess he must have bounced to a creep wave right there or something. But no, he is going to get away. But meanwhile, in the middle lane, Arachna dives on the Soul Stealer, using the ultimate once again, easily taking him out. And then back up here, Sandwraith gets cleaned up, and a humiliation right there against Sandwraith. So, yeah, that's going to do it right there. And 12-2 hero code advantage for SK Gaming. Again, I'm not sitting here and saying it would have completely changed the game plan, guys. I mean, you're clearly just... it's not even worth trying to explain, actually. I'm not even going to try.
I just want to say that anyone who says that that's bad manners has probably never played a game competitively, and that's going to sound elitist, and it's going to sound like I'm an asshole, but there's a point where you can't just let the other team walk all over you, have their way with you. What if something goes wrong, it's not your fault, it's theirs, and you shouldn't be punished for it.
Yeah. Well, anyways, it still comes back to that again, though. Just the lady phase just is not working here for the Hellborn team. Even if it was a Voodoo Jester pickup, even if that was the only change, I still don't see. I'm not going to sit here and say like, oh my kingdom, oh my god, the game would have been completely different. I really can't see that happening. Yes, his range is better. He does have that, the bouncing stun. It could have been different. It could have been, but. Yeah. Anyways, what's the point of speculating? There really is no point. It is what it is. And right now, SK Gaming, Online Kingdom, they're having to deal with what they got right here. Soul Stealer ports up to the top lane. Wretched Egg also up here with him. Andromeda just ports in. Going to try to set up something here, but they're going to need to be careful. Bubbles ports in. There's the ultimate. He was only catching Andromeda. Magma's going to charge in, though. Nice lined up stun right there. Stunning Soul Stealer as well. Going to try to use the Steam Bath to get away. For now, he is still alive, but oh my god, can he pour it out? Of course he cannot. Easily goes down. So a little bit too powerful of initiation right there. A little bit close to the tower, unfortunately. And Now the Legion team's going to have to fall back, but no, they're not actually. Arachna comes in, cleans up right there, and the Bat Blast comes out, but doing minimal damage right there. Arachna using her Hardened Carapace, and she is already, decently tanky herself. She has that Whispering Helm already, getting that nice lifesteal going off, and Soul Student and Samurai just go fall back into the jungle. There goes the Turtle Shell point, and Swift Slash has come out from Swiftblade, cutting through Swiftblade, or excuse me, Soul Student. Wow, I'm all over the place, and oh wow, that's the game. Didn't even realize the vote came out, but okay. So yeah, clearly All Night Kingdom, they're not feeling it, and I don't even So well, that's gonna do it. SK Gaming, they move on to the losers bracket finals, where they play the winner of DWI versus Dirty Minds. Again, I'm not going to spoil that. It has already happened, but I believe we do plan on casting it more than likely tomorrow, so definitely tune in for that. But SK Gaming victorious here for whatever reason you want to say. I know it's going to go back. It's going to be brought up, the whole argument of they should have remade. Voodoo Gesture would have made it so much better. But there is a time limit for a reason. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not on anyone's side necessarily, but yeah, that's all I'll say. So
I'm on SK Gaming's side, but you can be as impartial as you want.
Yeah. It's just unfortunate because, stuff like that as well, it kind of sets a tone for your team as well. You're like, well, this is going to suck. So we wanted this pick, but they're not going to allow us to remake to get it. Time ran out, blah, blah, blah. And, we're now in this mindset of this sucks. This is a shitty situation. Why aren't they letting us remake? And, they kind of come into the game like, well, why are we even playing? They're down 1-0. I'm sure the mindset definitely wasn't there either for Online Kingdom. On top of that, again, they are going through the roster issues lately, and Semiju isn't even technically on the team anymore, but he was playing with them for this event. But again, whatever excuses, whatever reason, SK Gaming, I think ultimately they proved, especially in Game 1, that they are a very, very good team, and they're very deserving to win this series here. So congratulations to them. They take the series 2-0, and again, they move on to the losers bracket semifinals. They will be one of 4 teams in total remaining. We're getting down to the final 4, and with that victory, at least I just realized they guaranteed themselves $2,000. Again, $2,000 is for 4th place, just 4th place. So they guarantee themselves at least $2,000 now. It goes $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, and then of course $10,000 for the winners, or the overall champion. So right now we still have the winners bracket finals between EG and MSI, and then of course we have DWI versus Dirty Minds in the other losers bracket semifinals. You can check out the bracket, guys, on GosuGamers.net if you have no clue what I'm talking about. If it's really too hard to follow, it's a double elimination tournament. That's how it works. So about GosuGamers.net, you can check out the brackets there and get an idea of what exactly is going to happen. But that is going to do it for today, guys. I do thank you for tuning in to the Songcast Daily Cast. Doing a little bit of recap here over the weekend of the GosuGamers tournament. SK Gaming victorious 2-0 over Dirty Minds, or excuse me, Online Kingdom. So again, I was Breaky CPK. Joining me was Hippie of the Honcast staff. And as always, stay tuned to Honcast.com for much, much more coverage. Going to be doing the Honcast Daily tomorrow, as always, Monday through Thursday, 1 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. CET, same time every day. Tomorrow we will be doing DWI versus Dirty Minds, the other semifinals that happen. So tune in for that. As for everyone else, have a good night. Cataclysm for the win.
Han 2.0 in a week.